No, this is not the start of an Art Deco wall hanging.
And so you can manipulate the density, you can manipulate the heights or the widths of the blades.
It's also not an abstract throw rug. It is a window into a vital ocean habitat. More on that in a moment. First, let's go offshore.
It's just a great place for fish to grow up. And then it also gives us a lot of services as humans that you kind of can't replace.
Travel through North Carolina's bays and estuaries and you'll find broad, grassy meadows not far offshore. That's right, grass, underwater. We're talking seagrass meadows. In fact, not far beneath the surface, seagrass forms some of the most important coastal habitat in the watery world. Without it, many juvenile fish, including several commercially important species such as grouper and red drum, likely wouldn't survive.
Find a lot of fish and crabs, and so it's a great habitat. You know, organisms can hide in it from predators. They have a safe haven almost from getting eaten up and being able to survive to adulthood so they can reproduce and kind of sustain their population. And so what seagrasses provide, they give us kind of a buffer zone for high wave energy. They also clear out some of the water quality. So if there's a lot of sediments, they kind of filter those sediments out, let the sediments drop down, and they make our waters clearer.
North Carolina has more seagrass than all the other states on the East Coast, except for Florida. That's because the Outer Banks shelters giant sounds, such as Pamlico, Albemarle, and others. Seagrass thrives in shallow, sheltered bays, where the water is only a couple feet deep. North Carolina is also located at the range limits of two types of seagrass. Shoal grass grows year-round. It has thin blades and grows about 6 inches tall. You'll also find eelgrass in the cooler spring and fall months. Eelgrass is thicker and grows to about 8 inches.
So we're a really important coastal state in terms of this habitat, which may be hugely important for supporting fishes.
But ironically, as important as seagrass habitat is, nobody knows just how fish utilize seagrass.
It's not hard to convince people that habitat is important. Everybody sort of gets that habitat is important for animals, for fish reproduction. But beyond that very qualitative statement, it's really hard to quantify how some unit area of seagrass or oyster reef or marsh produces X number of fish or crabs or shrimp.
So here's what the real eelgrass and shoal grass looks like.
This is the shoal grass. You can see how thin the blades are. Very similar to the artificial ones that we made. And then comparatively, this is the eelgrass. It's much longer, thicker blades. You usually get more algae, and so you can see how different they are structurally.
Which brings us back to 120,000 yards of ribbon, 30 rolls in all. Researchers at the University of North Carolina Institute of Marine Sciences built 16 artificial seagrass beds of different lengths and different densities of ribbon.
That's why we have all the different kinds of fake stuff. We'll just put it like sporadically throughout this entire seagrass bed. And yeah, basically like we have a couple different options for them and they'll choose which one they prefer.
The beds were deployed into Back Sound, just off Beaufort, and left for about 1 week. Great care is taken to not deploy the artificial beds over sensitive areas of sea floor. The plastic ribbons aren't out long enough to pose any danger to sea life.
After probably about a couple of days, they'll start to collect algae and critters. Just being in the water for a couple of days, they'll get barnacles and all kinds of things on them.
The epiphytic algae will actually grow onto the blades just like real grass. There's these little crustaceans called amphipods that will live on it. And then the fish will come in to eat those amphipods. So you have a nice community starting to grow.
This is a pigfish. A pig fish. Ooh, there he goes. Juvenile, yep, these are all young guys. Probably from this summer. And this is a pinfish.
Researchers also discovered flounder, blue crabs, oysters, and dozens of other juvenile fish. It's all further confirmation of the importance of seagrass habitat. The question now, just what type of habitat is best? And how will that habitat change as water temperatures warm and eelgrass, which thrives in cooler waters, dies off? The findings will help guide protection plans for seagrass meadows along the coast and, ultimately, help protect important commercial and recreational fish stocks.
Throughout the season, fish grow up, a lot of fish go offshore, and they change their habitat use. So by having this grass here, we can know if they're going to use that habitat for a longer period of time or if they're going to use another type of habitat.